Got it.
Yeah, whoa, it's the illusion and promo code. Riding the skaterix, episode number 21.
Yeah,
brought to you live on a Sunday night, dog.
What's going on, dog?
Dog.
How are you, dog?
I'm woof, dude. My our mythical mini puma Mike is sick. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, the family pet's not doing too well.
Oh, mythical Mike. Yeah,
the mini puma, dude.
Yeah, I don't even. Oh, is that the cat?
Yeah, the cat that survived the fire. The cat, our black cat. He's it's one of those, dude. Where it was funny. Owl and I went in and so he's been acting real lethargic the last 3 or 4 days. I took him to the vet yesterday. He's not really eating. It's one of those, dude. So we got blood work done. We went and did the whole thing, dude. Took on a nice fat bill for the cat. Getting some blood work done. Find out on Monday, but
You get him jabbed?
What's that?
You get him jabbed, right?
He
COVID.
He probably he's got it running a temperature. He might have the coof, dude. But yeah, so it's funny. His coat's all shiny. His eyes are all right, but yeah. So last night we let him out and he didn't come back, which is sort of unusual. So I was like, did he do? How cats they walk away, dude. When it's there.
Is he older?
What?
Is he older?
Yeah, he's probably 12. I think he's probably 12ish. We adopted him, so
Okay. You think he's over
but he's a hard. What's that?
I don't think he's over it. You guys have a pretty cool house.
No, but he's a ratter, right? So he kills all sorts of stuff. And he was chowing on a rat about a week ago, and no one seems to think he got poisoned. Something's up. So we get the blood test, but it was funny. So I went in and he's laying on the bed and I go, Al, let's go pray for the cat. It was pretty rad because he fully we were praying for him and his purr vibe just went super 10, dude. It was kind of epic, dude. Me and Al were at the side of the bed praying for him. And he fully picked up the signal and was just like, brrr. No, it's that thing. Nice. I would say the lesson, a real reminder of just, here today, gone tomorrow, did really when he didn't come in last night, I was like, dude, was that the last, what was the last pet, right? And then he was stoked. He came back this morning. I'm like, dude. And you just, it's just that reminder, man. We're just here, but for a blink of an eye, right?
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah. It's very, very, very fleeting world.
Yeah, it's that thing. You kind of just got it's the cat, but then you get caught you get into that space and you're like, oh, it's not just a cat, dude. It's like our buddy. He's our little buddy, dude. So yeah, and the lizard croaked 2 weeks ago. So
oh
yeah.
What kind of lizard was it?
The lizard croaked and. It's whatever it is, dude. But yeah, how's things going on your end, man?
I'm good, man. Just all over the place. The baby, she's keeping us up pretty late. Call it the little Mexican because she parties all night.
The late night baby partier.
Yeah, she has a mariachi band at around 12 o'clock. She breaks it out and just doesn't stop till around 5 in the morning. So just basically being there to serve up the hors d'oeuvres and tequila till she goes back to sleep.
So you've got the graveyard shift.
We trade off. Sometimes I get lucky and my wife will be like, feel bad for me and give me some rest, and other times she's, you know, not having it, so she'll put me on post. But it's all over the place. We don't really have any set shift. It just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's cool. She's getting a little bit better.
Yeah, you know,
Been doing that and just trying to keep it going, man. It's like I got a lot of irons in the fire and sort of all over the place, but it's all good, man. It's what it is, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's life, man. That's no joke. It's funny. I was listening to some. What's that?
There's some background noise. I was opening up another window. Go ahead.
Dude, don't be opening up other windows, bro. I hear background noise. What is it? Is it the promo code? The promo code?
I was opening up another promo code. Yeah.
No, I've been again. It's that whole thing. I've been listening to a lot of Crow 777 and a lot of my pastor Paul McGuire, who's like uber on it. He's, you know what he is? It's interesting. Pastor Paul McGuire is pretty Anthony Patchy with the information he has, but not on the fear program, like not on the not black pilly at all. Super like, you better get out and do it now or STFU, man. And like, it gets me pretty fired up. But I don't know if it was him or Crow 777 the other day. I think it was the newest Crow 777 was again just going off about like the intention, right? Like our intention and how we are manifest, how we are here to excel in abundance, and how like our divinity means that we're supposed to be abundant and vibrating in all grace and glory. And we're not supposed to be here even slightly victimed out or slightly under the oppression that it's, you know, and I mean, you're like me, you've heard all this 1,000 times, you know, but sometimes it just gets it right over the plate. Like, oh yeah, I needed to hear that again. So for me, like on that, what did I do? I went and pulled the trigger and ordered up a whole new like laptop the other day, like the sports car, I got the M1, dude. I pulled in big. It had the full. You order it now, dude. You deferred, no interest, 18 months to pay it off, which is like my promo code, baby. I just pulled the trigger. I called up my buddy who does the tech stuff. I go, is this my go code? He's like, that's it, dude. Get in there, bro. So I invested in myself and the business, and because then I can give this one to my wife, because my wife's getting all invigorated on her business, and like we're going super tripling down on the life force thing, man. You know,
that's cool, man.
And I've been taking to heart a lot of what we talked about, and all of the you know, doing the help stuff and getting some programs going. And I've been thinking a lot about like what we're about, and the skateboarding and the youth, and trying to pull the people out of the fire who want to be pulled out of the fire, and making peace with those who choose to sleep, man. Let them sleep.
Yeah. I it's weird. I've been a little bit of like I don't know how to say it. Maybe sombery and a little bit overwhelmed, just because of the nature of a newborn. with four
Sure.
other kids in the house. So it's been super chaotic. I mean, every day has just been more in the house and just managing the chaos. But I did break away, and I signed up for this. I signed up for this like perfumery course from this like lady that teach me how to like blend like medicinal like essential oil, just like natural perfumery stuff, which is stuff I'm really interested in. So I signed up for that and been like studying that as much as I can, and just trying to open up some new sort of hobbies or expand on the hobbies that I already have to. But yeah, man, it's weird. I have I had this realization, which was not like a great realization, but it's kind of like common sensey. But I did an Instagram live today, just a little one. I was like thinking to myself, I have my local community, you know, and I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I believe that there's a lot of redeemable qualities in the brothers and the friends that I've had for years. But there's like this weird thing. I'm like, how do you go and get guidance from medical experts? Because that's their excuse. Like, I was like, guys, why did you go along with this whole thing for so long? And they say, well, we have to go along with, we consult with the medical experts, you know? And I was like, well, these medical experts, and it occurred to me, I was like, you guys are religious people who spend your days and nights in prayer and through studying scripture and through imparting your knowledge and helping people with marriages, and you do burials, you do, you know, funerals, you conduct marriages, you're engaged with serving the community at a really deep level. And you're spiritual people, you're religious people, and these so-called experts that you're getting guidance from have not one shred of religion on them. And it was just a little epiphany. It was just like, how is that? And I realized it just all comes down to money, because those doctors are the ones who are on the board. They're the board of directors of our religious institutions, and they're the ones who, you know, a lot of the times pay the money to some of these guys. So it was just an interesting thing, just little realizations that have sort of, but I you know, you got to move on, and sort of, I find myself going back like on repeat over and over again, but you know, that's just me.
Well, I checked out I just had checked out your Instagram. 3 minutes of brilliance, because I think I think that you kind of nailed it on the head with something I might have spent the last 2 years trying to get to. You did it in 3 minutes, which it was like, it's like a ball, it's like an aha. Like, how do spiritual people take health advice from non-spiritual people? And so did you see the interview I had on with the doctor? I had a doctor on, interviewed him the end of last year. Doctor, wait, let me get his name right. And he's totally rad, dude. He's fully Dr. Hannah Vanakian. And so I had Dr. Hannah Vanakian on, and he's one of us to the core, super spiritual. And it was interesting because we were talking about what it was like to be that guy. And he was like, look, man, like, that's where I had to, that was the cross. He was, when COVID started, he talks about it. I just said the word, didn't I? Damn, I swore when the coof started, he was just about to switch his practice to the big moneymaker down here in Southern California, which is like, you know, injecting the lips and plastic surgery and all, you know, the injection stuff, dude, into the faces of the things. And he was like, he had like the God moment of like, that's not what I'm here to do. And he did his thing. And I was asking him about what it's like to be the doctor who isn't buying into the narrative. And he's like, dude, most of my fellow colleagues, dude, fully like respect me and like get it. And it's because I have a spiritual truth I must uphold to between me and my maker type of thing. And you know, he's an Eastern religion guy. You know, he's way more Eastern religion than Judeo-Christian. But again, it's like, that's the thing, is like, I don't get how you could take medical advice from someone who does not have some sort of spiritual connectivity with God, whether it's Eastern or Judeo-Christian or whatever it may be. Like, I don't get how you could ever take advice from someone about the body or the mind from any of those people.
That's how I feel too. I think that there's a weird, like, silent respect that even like friends of mine who we differ greatly in our opinions on this whole thing. I just call it yearly toxemia now. I don't call it the flu. I don't call it the coof. I call it terrain theory, yearly toxemia. And I think for the past 2,000-3,000 years, we've been completely and totally jarred in our understanding of this whole thing about what sickness is. But there is a respect that they'll have, because they don't want you, in a sense, or they don't want to follow you, but they need you, because it's like you anchor them back in reality. So it's a weird thing. Like, they don't want to verbalize that, but it's like they want you around because it's a reminder of where reality is. It's like a touch point for them. It's very strange how that works.
Well, I think, you know, it's an interesting thing, because we bet the farm, right, on this understanding of what is, to me, obvious, and I think, you know, has always been obvious. And here we are. I mean, we're almost to the 2-year anniversary of the great Friday the 13th Orange Man hoax, right? And it's all coming out. We have not been wrong, like on any level, like across the board, like and you go, well, make sure. But the main overarching theme is these people talking to us are criminals. Why would you ever listen to them? And yeah,
over and over and over again. I mean, they're really like, they're really bad people. It's like really bad.
And it's a very interesting thing, because here you are, and when I started to see that we were going to actually begin to get all the data points to be like, oh, we knew it. Like, it's almost like, I would say it is almost a somber, bittersweet thing. Like, especially with children, I imagine with the newborn is just like, wow, like it wasn't that hard to see at all, unless you were welded to some sort of ideologically polarizing cult peer pressure high school crowd, dude. Like it wasn't a big leap to go, wait a minute, the same evil kooks with different faces are doing this. Why would you ever listen to them? And now here we are 2 years later, and the data is coming out. I mean, I just saw that they just did a big study coming out of Israel and all over the world, that the heart issue, 133% gnarliness for boys. Like, the data's out there now. Like, the people that were like, no, the data's out there now, and they're still pushing it. That's the hottest, especially out here in California.
It's interesting, because there's a one of the signs of the Day of Judgment in the Islamic tradition is that there'll come a time where women will be 50 times more than men. The number of women will be 50 times more than men. So it's interesting. It's ironic. I'll say ironic's not the right word. It's crazy that there's that this is affecting, mostly the myocard, what's it, how do you say
I
it?
don't even know if you can say it. The that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that see, I was
Well,
political.
you
Yeah,
did you get it? You probably didn't, but my buddies, did you get a glimpse of the open letter from Malone that he published? This was on February 10th.
I got a couple. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was like was it like a 5-minute video or something like that, or
no, the open letter he wrote, the open letter to the Canadian truckers. And I thought there was a very interesting paragraph because it's been going on about where I've really, where I think it regard, it's regarding the children, right? Like regarding the children. Although I'm a physician who is deeply committed to the Hippocratic Oath, I'm above all a husband, a father, a grandfather. I ask that you allow me a moment to speak to you about the children and our fundamental responsibility to protect them. If nothing else, we nurture and protect our children. This is our one job. This is your job. It's my job. It's their job to. It's not their job to protect us. And during the last 2 years, our society and our public health responses failed to protect them. Many things that our public health system has demanded we do to our children has directly harmed them. Self-harm, suicide, drug abuse, and children have taken off all around the world. Anxiety, bullying, intimidation, coercion have become the norm. Measured IQ in the very young has dropped. Fundamental childhood delays are easily measured. The physical damage to children from injecting them in order to protect the elderly from it is occurring. As a parent, it is ultimately your responsibility to protect your children. If they are harmed by these generic, you are the one who will have to take care of them. You will carry the burden for the rest of your life and theirs. And again, it goes on from there, but something struck me really like, and I think that this is what I think striking me again with what's going on to the north of us and has been going on for the last 2 years is the legitimization of bullying. Some of my earliest videos, I forgot what the earliest video I got was some I remember making big videos about that young Australian skateboarder kid who got bullied and killed himself. I forget his name. If you go back into my archives, it's in the first year of my videos. It was like a big deal, this bullying thing. And the one of the fundamental tenets of like a civilized society is like this bullying is not acceptable. I mean, there's a difference between, the standard playground nonsense versus like actual bullying. And I've been shocked that the bullying that's really just gotten accepted as the norm. It is kind of blunt, and especially in the youth culture. I mean, you look at I go back to that girl who was doing the Smile Fridays thing up in Oregon, and just it was like the administration and all the people around her were green lighting her being bullied because she didn't want to wear the cloth. It's very sick, man. I think there's a level.
The media has framed bullying a certain way through, I mean, Orange Man Bad was probably like where bullying became like almost normalized through, I mean, it was always there through different aspects of media, but on the federal, like you had a so-called president. I don't like to call these people presidents of anything, but you had a so-called president get up there and be like, mocking like, people who were like handicapped and really just really terrible things that were so and I don't laugh at the fact that he did that. It was just, I laugh at the lunacy of it all but that was like, I think where it became like in vogue, where you had like the the 2016 so-called presidential debate became like the jump off point where like Jeb Bush is getting mocked by, Trump is mocking everyone, and they're sort of, it seems like that was like a weird turning point, at least in the media, where like bullying on that level became like almost hyper normalized.
Yeah, it's troubling. I have to admit, like, as a it's all so very bizarre. Again, is I don't even know what to make of it. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that people aren't gonna take it off, dude.
That one is like that was like, I've been saying, I'm talking to
we knew it was gonna be like that, right?
But yeah, well, I feel a little bit Looney Tunes when I go into a store now. I literally mumble to myself. I'm like, I can't believe this. I'm talking to myself because I'm trying to like cope with the shock. And I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked. It's like, dude, are we still doing this? Like, are you guys okay? Like, you're dedicated. Like, good job. Like, I'm really proud of you. But it's time to move on. It's okay. But I realize that now it's become belief. It's become religion in a sense. And that religion we talked about, which was scientism, is actually a thing where people are so trusting of someone like a Fauci or whatever. I don't even, whatever, like to use the terms, but Fauci or whoever, or Gates, they really do look at these guys as like a priestly class, and they hold on to every word that they say. And then they actually, it's crazy, man. Like they actually, like, that's why they're doing what they're doing when they go out into the world, because they want to keep themselves safe and other people safe. And a lot of people do it because they want to, it's looked at as like respectful, in some way. This whole term of I did my part, I'm doing my part, I got the injection, I'm covering my face, I'm doing my part, and you're not.
It goes back to this thing we talked about a while back. Oh, by the way, before we move on, hey, there's something do you have your microphone set on like a different one? It's like clicking and a little crack.
Mine?
Yeah, I like normally you have it. I think you don't. Something's changed with your setting or what you have hooked up. It's like popping a little bit. Oh, dude, we're winning, dude. We got trolls tonight, dude. We're stoked.
How about now?
Let's see. Talk.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, way better.
Okay.
What was happening?
I think I wasn't connected to the computer audio, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something. It was something weird. No, so it's the weirdest thing. I think it's crazier than that. I don't think that there's any of the I'm doing my part. I think it's even scarier than that. I think it's no different than putting on stuff over your genitals before you go out in the day. I think it's no different than a pair of pants or a pair of shorts or a skirt or whatever it is to a lot of these. I think it's their clothing.
Well, it's interesting now that it's lifted. This is actually a new hypothesis. Now that it's lifted and I don't have to do the double triple, I can finally wear that cute little laced mask I've always wanted to wear. That black laced little doodad, that sexy little black laced mask I've always wanted. I couldn't wear it a couple months ago because the CDC said it was not going to be a acceptable. So I saw a lot of ladies in Whole Foods today wearing the like this black designer laced mask that doesn't do anything. It's obviously, I mean, none of it does anything, but yeah, it was like putting on like lingerie or something for your face. Yeah, it is like that. It's like putting on like a pair of underwear now, I guess. That's a good point. That's scary. That is scary. You got some trolls?
Yeah, we're winning. They must be onto us. So no, but that's what's, but so all right. So I also had this other trippy thing. So like, I kind of live in my weird bubble, so to speak. But today we actually had to like drive out to do something out into Victorville today. If you're, out in San Bernardino in the high desert there through, and I was gassing up my car and I was just taking a look at the basic human life form. And I really there was just such a level of again, it's how do you say it without again, everyone deserves to live and find their journey and the whole thing. But again, it was this weird thing where I was like, wow, these people are really on it, a totally, I forget about them. When I talk about there's this sort of the middle NPC people that are just, I don't care one way or the other. They're literally there to watch their sports and go about their thing. But I really they're sort of mythical. I sort of get the intact version of it here, in the Conejo Valley, right? All shapes and models, all demographics. This isn't one demographic versus another. Don't get me wrong, it's in that. I'm saying you get into some of these things and you really see the effects of nutritional deprivation, financial deprivation, educational deprivation, and there's just sort of this sort of body mass looking kind of clothing, sort of beat down weird thing where you're yeah, huh.
No, it's almost like
I'm trying not to be I'm trying not to be a dick about it because
no, it's you're getting it, you're getting to it though. It's almost like this weird S&M thing with the I don't want to say dregs, but they're people who have completely, they follow the standard American diet, which is called, as we know, called SAD. They watch basic programming, and they're employed wherever they're employed has made it so they have to do what they got to do. But it is this abusive, it's almost almost a weird, I don't want to say a or a love for the abuse, but they're govern me, daddy. This is,
I don't even know. These are people that and I realize that there's such a huge segment of the population. They aren't even aware enough to that's not even in their demo. That's not even in their, there's not enough pennies being rubbed together in there to even make that make sense. You know what I mean? I was sitting at the gas station and I was just watching these people so utterly incompetent and just and just sort of jiggling through the thing. And the way I trip on it is this, driving a car, right? It's a 2,000 pound vehicle. It's deadly. You get on a 2-lane road going anywhere. Let's say you're going 35 miles per hour, dude. That's a 70-mile-per-hour impact if you get another one coming the other way. But even at 35 miles per hour, dude, it could be lethal for you, right? Damage you, break your legs, destroy everything, right? And I'm a pretty super duper focused on it, like driver, right? I'm deadly serious about it. I'm focused. I use all my signals and stuff. I'm into it. Like I'm into skating or surfing or anything. Like when I get behind the wheel, like I like to giddy up and go, and I like to play the game, and I'm into it. But I also am super like anyone else. I got phones going on. I got drinks going. I got cups of coffee on my dash. I got papers and children, and I got all this stuff going on, right? And every now and then it'll hit me of like, whew, like, wow, dude, that was lucky, right? I wasn't here. Like, where was I? And I'm jamming down the 101 in 5 lanes of traffic going 80 miles an hour with 18 wheelers and buses and all this stuff. And I look at some of these people and I go, how are they getting through the deli slicer of traffic on a daily level to make it to sort of jelly through this gas station experience, dude, where they just seem utterly incompetent even on the ability to get their car maneuvered into a gas station to put the flammable liquid that's got warning signs all over the pump that this thing will explode. And I'm just like, how are these people pulling this off? Like, I look at them and I just go, how do they pull it off with all the sharp knives and ovens that you shouldn't leave on and slipping in the bathtub and all the stuff that we do all day long that will kill you? I go, how are these people pulling it off, dude? And I really do all of a sudden get into this Klaus Schwabish part of my head. So that's what I try to talk to like a lot, is like, don't anyone out there ever think that I'm not got that dude sitting in there being like, no, yes, no, maybe I'll keep them around. No. And because I was sitting there today and I was just sitting in the gas station, gassing up, looking at these people going in my Klaus Schwab mentality going, man, dude, are these the people leaving the trash all over the desert out here? Is this why there's all these broken down trailers and garbage everywhere and smashed up cars? And are these the people? Because I think I'm special, dude. Because I am, dude. Because I'm tuned into my own spatial ridiculousness. I don't know. I had one of those aha moments of where I go, because I know if you put me in charge of the show for a minute, Jordan, like you were like, all right, Hamish, like, what are you going to do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to Klaus Schwab it, dude. I'm going to literally go, all of you people over there, I'm going to, and I've talked about this before. I'm literally going to sit and have like roving bands of execution squads driving down the interstate and just be like, you pull over, boom, done. You guys proved you don't have any responsibility. You shouldn't be here. You can't drive a car. Drunk drivers, you guys are gone, dude. You guys are gone. You guys with the smoking the meth over there in the broken down trailer, you guys are gone. You guys are gone over there. Oh, you guys with the chainsaw cutting down the old growth tree, you guys are gone, dude. Oh, you on the cargo container ship that just spilled the stuff out there, you guys are gone.
It's crazy, dude, because there's a lot of those people out there now, which is crazy. So maybe you're onto something. Maybe you should go join the World Economic Forum and instead of trying to be a city council or something small, go big.
Trust Jordan, that's the conversation I had with the trees in 1995, was when they were like, dude, you better go a different route. So that's where like it's this thing where like I do feel the brooding, like that unsettling weight. And maybe it's call it melancholy. Maybe I look at it and I go, dude, like I'm an idea, like I really do sit, and at the end of the day, I go, people are right, man. And then sometimes I get a look at like these other environments where it's just spilled stuff everywhere, just garbage. And I'll quote unquote, we're driving through this town that he goes, this town's a sewer, dude. And I'm like, Al, you what's positive about it? He's like, well, there's some Joshua trees over there. But he's like, why does it look like this? And I go, I sat there and again, it's being a dad and the whole thing of being like, look, you can't look at it like that. We got to look at the positive and the whole thing. And I'm just, the whole time, I'm just like, I'm having this like thing of like, yeah, why is this going on out there? What is with all this like inability to take care of your garbage and just like clean up your freaking yard?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I'm stumped, man. I'm stumped. I don't know, man. I've got like,
yeah, because I get it. That's why I think that it's I was watching the Viva La Fry, right? Doing an interview the other day, and he's interviewing one of the counter protesters in Ottawa, right? He's like, hey, and he's like, the guy he wasn't truly against it. He's like, look, you guys are just causing too much chaos in our city, dude. Like, and Viva Fry's like, so what's going on? He's like, well, these people are like pooping in our yards, in our neighborhoods, and this and that, and that's chaos. And so Viva La Fry's like, or Refray or whatever his name is he's like, hey, this area where the truckers are right now, there used to be a lot of homeless here, right? And the guy's like, yeah, this is where the like homeless were. So the truckers came in and the homeless have kind of gone into your neighborhoods. And he's like, yeah, but that, and you got this understanding from this dude that as long as his neighborhood was clean, that you could poop on the streets over there. But now that the truckers were there cleaning up the thing and the homeless were like in his neighborhood pooping on the thing, it was unacceptable. And everybody's got to go. I don't care about your workers' rights. I don't care about your freedoms. There's literally a dude taking a dump on my neighbor's lawn, dude. And I just was like, and it's that thing where like I've always tripped in Malibu, right? Like this, I live in this zone here where I always used to be like, you can build the gates, but as long as there's like a homeless dude on the other side, like you haven't cleaned like you're still living in filth, right? Because I live like Malibu's like supposedly like the uber wealthy thing, right? Rich and famous and the whole thing. And if you were to drive down the line, it's trash everywhere, dude. Homeless people, but there's all these gates, and on the other side of the gates is these pristine, Ipe covered, ultra modern architectural digest wonderlands, dude, full of
like Israel.
Yeah, and yeah, the Israel thing is really starting to get under my skin, man. And I go, how do you, like, they don't get the understand that the rats and the disease and the pestilence can't be stopped by a wall. and again, it's like, that's where I don't know, I'm all over the map with it, dude. I just had this moment at a gas station where I tripped out on myself because I have the ability to look at myself unfiltered sometimes and just to let the thoughts flow and be like, wow, all right, let's see where this goes. And I was like, yeah, dude, those people that can't seem to move their car around in this gas station, they need to go up against a wall immediately.
It's hard to say where it's all going because I like to believe that, like everyone, there's like that new like spring day or that new summer morning where the world reopens and everyone sort of bears their faces into the sunshine and everyone's happy again. And then I look around, I'm like, you guys are still 95% of you are all covered with your heads down. And there's something that is, what do you call, like metaphysically strange about the whole, and this is a separate, I guess, just an observation, but there's this thing of like the mask makes your head go down. It's weird. It's like when you put it on, it's like shameful. So you lower your head, but it's okay because you have a phone to look at while your head is lowered. It's fascinating. It's like, it fits perfect. It's like, and you get, just to like lose yourself in your own world, convincing yourself that it all is normal because the algorithm on your phone is telling you it's all going to be okay, when you've completely lost contact with reality. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's all crazy. It's even like looking at this one comment, like you do realize WCAM Studios that it's not a diversity issue. like the
Utah, Wyoming, and South Dakota are very clean and lack diversity. Okay,
it's not a diversity issue.
Looking back west,
you know what it is funny. When I was down in Chile, right, I was hanging out with this local dude, and he made an astute observation because we were getting down on this trail, and I was like, it's kind of dirty. He's like, you know what? He's like, Sue was older. He's like, when I was a kid, it wasn't like this because there wasn't all the plastics, dude. The plastics stay around. He's like, it used to just be like biodegradable stuff and like glass and tin, and those had value, and like, but it's all that. And I do, like, if I think about, like, the thing is like, it is the plasticization of, it really is this discouraging, just abusive relationship with the products and our ecosystem and our communities that just seems to really just like encourage this throw it over my shoulder mentality, man. I don't know, dude. It all trips me out, man. Because now there's no denying any of it.
I realized my weakness in this whole thing. One of my weaknesses, I don't know if it's a weakness or maybe it's could be considered as a hope, but I've realized where I went wrong, and that is I've wanted people around me, no matter how gone they were. I had this hope in my mind that they were somehow be able to be convinced that it'll be okay and that this is all, so I go up to people for like confirmation, this, I would make a joke about the coof, but they weren't having it. Like, it was like, it totally fell on, like, kaplunked on them. And I just realized it's like, you sort of not completely alone, but you really are, really it's just your family and like what you have control over in your family and in your, maybe a small group of people. The hope I mean, there's other people that are waking up, but it is this brother who's saying it's like little Mexico in California. I mean, everywhere I live, everywhere I look is little like India, little China. It's not Mexico.
I don't get that mentality, dude, because go look at
I'm just saying where I live in my area. There's that is, but it's if you drive 20 minutes somewhere or 10 minutes down the road, it's different. It's all shaved, all colors.
That mentality is not like there's like that's where like I don't like get the people thinking that's I don't dig that kind of like mentality, dude. Dude, go outside of Binghamton, New York, dude, and you'll see the same thing, dude. Go outside of, as a dude who's traveled all over this country, dude, that thing is not specific to a demographic community of ethno-specific people.
Totally.
That's the kind of weird stuff that just that really does just make me realize how worthless people are, is because no one can break the thing is like, it's that weird thing. Like, and I'll say this, like the big controversy with Whoopi Goldberg the other day, right? Or the other week about what she was trying to convey, what she did a terrible job about. But what is the hatred and abuse towards fellow human beings has got nothing to do with racial components. The people will do it to their own same demographic based upon which way they butter their toast. I mean, look at the insanity that, like, we got some Irish people here. Look at the insanity that went on in Ireland. Look at the insanity that went on in Rwanda. Look at the insanity that goes on all over the planet of for all intents and perfectly ethnically similar demographics, right? Like the thing Whoopi said was just ridiculous because like it was pretty out to lunch. But if you wanted to get down to these human conditions, like it's not the narrative that this has got anything to do with some sort of one group or other group. I can't subscribe to that stuff.
Yeah, no, I do believe that it's there is an occult element, there's a satanic element to this that's not lost on me, and that is real. There are people in this world that do want to please their
it's like the utter ignorance of this, whoever this person is right here, dude. Why do third world countries have no infrastructure? It's called the IMF. It's like, again, it's super obvious is direct targeting of economic regimes to keep these populations from being able to do what they need to do for their resources, dude. That's been going on.
Yeah.
It's just this weird thing that again it's where like I almost lose a little bit of hope with humanity, is just realizing like how stupid this person is right here, dude. Like, it's fucking idiot, dude. Like I'm over that mentality of just, I don't know, some douchebag, dude. Someone that deserves to be put up against the wall for a second, dude.
The people make the nation. Why do third world countries have no infrastructure?
Again, it's this thing is people given their own.
I don't know.
I like this dude is like, see, this is what the insanity, I don't know how we open this, like, this is the grossness of it all. It's like, I love you, been following you for years, but you have a certain virtue signal towards brown and brown and blacks and seem to defend them all the time. Well, Whitey is never defended. That is like the gross. That's like that mentality is like gross. I'm gonna just like people are gross, dude. Like that's the weird thing. That's another person. Put him against the wall right there. Like fail. Put him against the wall, man.
What?
Yeah, it's that.
What?
No, you're out, dude. Like you're out. I'm on the you're out, dude. You're out too, dude. It's this weird,
man.
It's just the gross. That's what I mean.
Partying hard, bro.
What?
I said partying hard. Tarded, super tarded.
It's like it's the whole weird thing of like again, is I don't need to look any further than myself in the mirror, right? Like I guess that's what that's what ultimately I'm talking about is this the thing that I spend that like that I would sit here and like if we were talking about like, yeah, what's going on in Canada with like the banks and the whole thing is like I looked at it today and I went, that's me. I was that dude at the gas station staring at somebody and being like, they're unworthy. That's the whole point. What I'm trying to say is like, and then everyone wants to turn it into something is like, again, is these concepts aren't far removed from ourselves. So like when you look at what's going on around us is like our that is the human nature of it all, which is I think this disturbing thing that gets us to what we were talking about in the beginning of accepting advice on health matters from people that don't actually have a spiritual connection.
Yeah, man, that's I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's really easy to there's this thing of like with I think a lot of people from what I've seen, it's easy to speak on this different stuff. It's easy to be an armchair critic and say your shit. It's really, really difficult. It's really challenging to sustain to hold a position, hold a line for extended amounts of time without budging. You know, to be like consistent. And I think that is one of the things that like are really lacking nowadays is like our consistency with like our principles and our morals. Like we believe something, this is our principle, this is our moral, there's no compromise in that. People, that salt of like that genuine like sort of salt of a man or salt of a woman is not, it's really hard to find nowadays, man. There's a lot of people who say things, but it's really hard to find people that are really true to form, you know? And that's one of the things because I've gotten in these conversations with people like, yeah, bro, like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And then I'll see them like a couple weeks later and they'll be like completely like, you know, different, blown out. And same way online or on these live chats, you know, and I'm not saying, I mean, there's definitely dudes that are down and sincere people, but I'm just saying it's like, it's really easy to say and criticize, but it's really difficult to you know, stay true. Like I wonder, like these people who say this stuff, like I wonder, like, you're probably totally masked and like masked up, you know, and like probably took the sauce and you're masked and you're just angry.
I don't even know if it's like that is there's I think this is the weird thing that we're seeing is like how they, you know, the divide and conquer. Like I'll give this, like Ilhan Omar, dude, came to the defense of it's not right to be doxing all of these supporters of the convoy, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and again, is these principle things. It really is. It's like that whole thing about, you know, which is so baffling to me is you got to be in it for every you got to be consistent when it's the ones you don't agree with, right? Like because again, there's always truths to be found in underneath the surface of it all. It's I mean, it's like the weird thing from the other year with all the protests that turned into riots in the other year, right? Like fundamentally underneath what is like, I actually like agree where it turned, where I had to like, where the psyop came was like, it became this violent thing. And it took away all the power that was there. And then it greenlit a bunch of terrorists. And then it actually like instilled the backing of the state, which was it's a fascinating thing. Like, that's why I look at what's going on up north and have been so blown away that all the people that were opposed to the state fundamentally, what was that, 2 years ago now? 2 years ago now, fundamentally opposed to the state are now have actually like come and spoken against the first actual like sort of unified move against the state in my lifetime, like that ultimately seems to be so ultimately effective that they've had to go to expose their true villainous weaponry, which is these financial ledgers and stuff. And I've been really shocked that people haven't been able to like between. I'm surprised that there was certain elements in our society that didn't see that this was their time to like actually bring about some sort of significant change through a very similar process of being like, no, we're done with your abuse. And the abuses across the board, call it medical, call it police state, call it all of it, dude. Like, and just how polarized and inconsistent everybody is. It's like, look, it's like when I went down to Fairfax the other year and filmed live, and I saw what was going on with my own two eyes. I was definitely standing with that woman against the police, for sure. And at the same time, I'm adamantly opposed to the dudes smashing the windows and stealing all the stuff. And I see what they're doing. They're taking the power away from like what I don't get anyone who can stand by the state at this point, like on any level, like that, like, and I don't see how anyone can consistently say at this point now, especially after what's gone down over the last 72 hours, that they can have any support for the blue, because the blue don't care. They're the same people in every society and for all the way back, dude. You know, it's like, how can a Christian at this point back the dudes who nailed Jesus to the cross, which was essentially the police of their time, right? You know, I think that's where I've fully like hit that weird wall where it's like, it's so convoluted now and it's so without principle on any level. And it's bothersome that the people that actually should be out supporting us is these frickin' parents who are sitting by while their kids are in the thing going, no, we're fighting the school boards, but then they're like, well, those dudes aren't. No, they're the same. That principle that's requiring you to do that to your child's no different than the dude with the billy club and the badge on his chest, from my perspective, and no different than the dude in the emergency room that's gonna force allopathic medicine for the sake of increasing his Mercedes-Benz payments, right? Like, these people are all that's all the same like thing. It's the same people that it's the people that forced all those Indian farmers to like kill themselves because they couldn't afford the seed issue. Remember that in India like 10 years ago, where all the GMO seeds, and they couldn't afford the seeds, and it's interesting, you know. I don't know, man. I just trip out. I again, it's like like when I see my own. Yeah, the BLM thing was a total psyop, dude. Because, but like, that's the interesting thing about it. Like, everyone needs better thank those Canadian truckers, man. They got some stuff done, dude. Oh, you're Jordan.
Oh, I was just saying that BLM was dope though. I got a coupon code. I'm gonna try to get some sweatshirts. You want to try to hook it up though? Hello?
Yeah, you know, it's really all about it's all about the promo codes. Yeah, Mute isn't a troll. Yeah, he's just a community troublemaker. We let Mute roll a little bit, dude. It's all right, dude. Mute's been around for a while, dude. Don't sweat him, dude.
All good.
Good. There's a difference. Look, that's the interesting thing for me. Like, and again, as I think it goes back to that conversation we had a couple weeks ago. I don't mind getting down and dirty about all these ideas and perceptions. Where I absolutely will not get involved with is this degrading groups of people based upon demographic issues. I just can't do that. People are the scumbags at the top don't recognize that either. You know, they're of all shapes and models, dude. So don't sit down here on the low fruit and be like, oh my God, it's those guys. I just don't dig that stuff, man. I speak for all people. I speak for people that want to be with God, man. You know,
I'm tough on my own tribe members, I admit.
Well, you again that's a specific thing for you that you can, like, you have a lens in that, just the same way I can sit here and say surfers are scumbags, dude. Because like I am one. I get to say you don't get to say that, Jordan, because you're not a surfer, dude. You know, it's
you can say that about skateboarders.
What?
I can say that about skateboarders.
You sure do.
Skateboarders are whack.
Whack. They're whack, man.
They're whack. They're whack.
They're so it's
anyways, I gotta grab my kid. I just realized I'm running late.
Okay, yeah, I realized I haven't put mine to sleep yet either, brother. So that was a thoroughly like ass backwards like stream, but whatever.
It's all good. We'll hit it.
Hardly uplifting.
It's probably my fault. Sorry.
Hey, brother, I love you, man.
We had some, you know, it's all good.
It's all good.
Next time.
Yeah. No, hey, man, you got to slam in order to pull it too, dude.
That's right.
So we can officially say that Riding the Skate Trick episode number 21, which is an interesting number, was
a slam.
Slam. It was a slam, dude.
Okay.
A full slam, dude.
All good.
I love you, brother. Good night,
Love you
everyone.
too.
Peace out.
Peace.